this bizarro contraption
Chingaderas?
Oh, that's it.
is known as a torque ball.
So has that been in your ultrasonic?
No, this was actually in evaporust because I wanted to get this crud in here discharged. And then I wanted to look at the condition of the torque ball. And this is supposed to be a very fine finish, and then it's got this huge divot here. So we have to figure out where that divot
Lived.
because this goes on here. And it's not supposed to rotate. It's actually supposed to be stationary.
Oh, yeah, there's a...
And it's got some...
It's got shite there.
Ooh, that's not good.
Well, that shite there matches with this shite here. So this was kind of
communal
in this
shite.
position. So this goes here, and then this has a bagel inside. See the bagel?
Yeah, definitely not the kind you want with cream cheese.
Now this one has some distortion right there.
That's just the weather. Or the
No,
neighbors.
that's the neighbor.
Or both.
So this has a distortion right there, and a little bit there, and there,
Is that from the
and
drive
there.
shaft
No,
Is that a
that's...
piece of rubber, Chuck? The bagel part?
Yeah, here. You guys can touch it.
Pass it around.
Touch Chuck's bagel.
Well, wait a minute.
Or his torque ball. Actually, it's Mark's torque ball you're playing with.
Ah, you should buy me a
Ooh.
Chuck first. Oh, yeah.
Mark, everyone's touching your bagel. How's Mark's bagel?
Nice bagel, Mark.
Ooh.
Want to touch
Now,
Mark's
I'm
It looks very
hoping-
round.
I'm hoping that he actually has one of those. Because the way this
Grant
works,
is here.
if you look here very closely, there's a little bit of the torque. Yep, there it is. This is not the best bit of engineering on the planet.
Oh, yeah, that thing is cutting through, huh?
No, this, to manage this. No, it's an opal.
Damn, Coach.
No. No, it was not a Buick. It was sold. No.
Czechoslovakia's Buick.
It was sold through Buick dealers in the United States. And it was called It was called a Vauxhall in England. And Vauxhall was sold by Pontiac. Believe it or not.
All three of them.
Just double check to see if there's a difference in the way it fits. So anyway, this, if you look very carefully, there's a paper gasket in there, and the way they controlled the tension of said torque ball was through multiples of paper gaskets.
That's lovely.
It didn't work so great.
Not for 70 years.
Well, no, it didn't work so great new.
For 5 years.
So I talked to...
That wouldn't work so great off the damn assembly line.
I talked to Mark over at C&M.
Oh, the RTV on there, you got...
And his comment was, these fuckers leak when they're new.
Yep.
And I can, this...
Mark would know.
It's the design of this. I can see, I've got to play around with it a little bit, but I think I can fix it.
Are you going to play with your torque ball?
I'm going to play with the torque ball.
It seems like there's not much...
Are you going to twist it?
Like, those seem really close to the edge.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's not...
Because I guess they're not getting...
Some of us might be into that.
So you're edging?
So you squish this on there. Like this has got to go through the bagel.
I have to squish that through there?
Yeah. You have to squish the torque ball through the capacitator, or whatever you want to call it.
You have to buy that drink first.
I'm not into the squishing of the
Is there
torque
a
ball.
2-drink minimum?
Obviously, the torque ball's not happy.
No.
Oh.
But anyway, so all that's supposed to go together, and this thing, when we took it off the trailer, it was puking out the ass. It had some serious rear end seepage from the transmission.
Well, you know,
Yeah, the...
must have been a rough Saturday night.
Friday
Was
night
it- was it- yeah, no. So-
Special oil.
Pardon? So we got to figure out how to make this work again.
So those are no longer available parts to...
I don't know. He said he had the stuff to rebuild the torque ball, but hopefully that means he has one of these.
Would that rubber gasket still be good if
With
it's
the bagel.
old?
It's not the best, so I'm going to say this isn't any good.
That would
And I
be-
don't know if he has another one.
Would that be a day old bagel?
No, this has been one that's been whipped around class. We had bagels in high school and college, so they were projectiles. They were 5 cents.
I remember I would be the only one that buy the everything bagels because everybody else was like, ew,
Ew.
it has stuff on it. I'm like, yeah, that means it's good.
Yeah, it's not just plain.
Everything bagels are awesome. You're not an everything bagel person? How?
That's
down.
Wow.
This,
Everything bagel. Team everything bagel.
Team everything bagel.
Everything bagel.
Yeah.
Cinnamon raisins.
Oh, cinnamon raisins tolerable.
Flat and clean, which is this area right
Well,
here.
I'm-
You can
no,
see
this
the
is gonna be-
stuff there. So I don't know what he has. I don't know what he has.
All
So
right.
and this concerns me why it's so worn right there. It's
Yeah,
almost
that's-
like, it's weird.
Beat up.
So is it out of round, do you think, or is that?
I don't know.
That's definitely worn. Funny.
I don't know. This has wear on it, and it's to be expected. This transmission was rebuilt and installed, oh God, probably 40 years ago. I've been having those conversations with Mark. He goes, I don't think you need to do anything with the transmission. It's fine.
That's on
I
video
said-
too. He said he's gonna.
I
you
said,
later.
Mark, we can edit it out.
I don't edit. I just slam them together.
I know.
All of our
He said it was
inappropriateness.
fine.
Just,
He said it was fine. It shipped fine, and I had to remind him that the last time this transmission was touched was probably 3 times the transmission's average service life. And I'm talking about in time.
definitely before I was born.
Right. It's been it's probably. And the thing is that parts are really hard to find for these. Really hard to find. So there's a company in.
Can't you have like rebuilt kits for
No. No, these are pretty rare. The only. Pardon? No, actually, there's a company in LA called Transmatic, which is one of the primary sources for Buick Dynaflow parts. And there's a guy there named Enrique that rebuilds them.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
may take this to Enrique. We don't know yet. What we want to do, we've got a couple of things we want to do. And one of the things that we want to do is take this universal joint off. And you have to go through here. There's 3/4 inch bolt back here. You unscrew that. And that's going to be fun because there's no park pawl on this transmission.
No what?
Park pawl.
There's not.
Oh, to
Well,
hold
there's
it
supposed
so it
to be
doesn't turn.
one.
Uh-oh.
There's not one on this particular transmission.
Oh, so
Well, there is a pawl in here, but it's not working. Right? So one of the things that we're tasked with on this transmission, we have to take this off, then we unbolt this stuff over here, and we pull this off, and the park pawl's in here, and we got to figure out why it's not working. So we can do that tonight. We can also take this pan off and take a look at the valve body and look at the condition of the bottom of the pan to see if there's debris and dirt on the bottom of the pan. And if it's reasonably clean. On the plus side, Mark, on the plus side, the fluid looked great.
Yay!
Fluid looked great, but I am concerned because, like, you get over here, this is a really cool, bizarre thing right here. This is I forget which one's which now. I think this is the low accumulator and this is the high. I have 50-50 chance of getting right. This is a 2-speed transmission. It's a 2-speed transmission, but inside this bizarro thing is a variable vane or variable pitch vane system that controls, if it's in this position, lots of power. If it's in this position, it's supposed to be more efficient. And that is controlled by the throttle and this little do-jobber right here. Now, technically, that's a technical term, by the way, do-jobber.
Do jobber.
Okay, but what concerns me is this thing has a lot of flake in it. See that? So that's another potential leak point. So we're going to want to take this apart, or take this off and inspect this. We're going to want to get this off and get to the park pawl and take a look at that. And maybe after we do those two things, we'll drain the torque converter, slide that off, and look at that as well. The two areas that leak on this transmission are the torque ball, and this has the most bizarre thing for an automatic transmission. It has this plate here that runs the entire width of the transmission. The accumulators are outside the transmission, which is weird. And everything is piped through this aluminum, I'm pretty sure it's an aluminum plate. These plates warp and they'll leak in here because these plates won't seal.
The plate leaks past the D-jobber.
Are these the equivalent on the Ford transmission of those big cups that moved in and out and pulled on the bands?
Those are servos.
Wait, do that again.
The
That
big
was
cups.
interesting.
No, do this part again.
Do the thing.
Do the thing.
Do the
That
thing.
was one take and done because I am a professional. You make it work, Mr. Competitor.
No, do the thing.
Anyway, you get. Anyway, no, there's servos and accumulators. Now the servos are the things that tighten up the bands.
That moved. And
Right.
There you go.
The
There you go.
accumulators, ooh, nice. The accumulators act as cushions because if you didn't have the accumulator, that would shift like bang. It would shift like exactly. As a
That's
matter
kind
of
of like
fact, when you go and you put a trans kit in, you
Shift like
actually
bang.
speed up the accumulator so that your shifts are faster, tighter. But at this point in time, what Buick was trying to achieve was an imperceptible shift. So first gear, I'm just watching. First gear was a function of these variable vanes, right? You're taking off, you go to power, whichever way is power, which is probably that way. You go to power, and then you back off your throttle and you go to economy. So so this is kind of sort of like first, that's second, and then it shifts into second gear, which is like third today. So this has a greater torque multiplication, 3-to-1 versus 2-to-1, or 2.2-to-1, depending on whose brand torque converter you have.
the early Tornadoes, the first year Eldorado had a switch pitch torque converter. Is that
I don't
more
think
or
so.
less the same thing?
Yeah, so General Motors used it again
When?
Yeah,
in the 60s.
Mammoth's,
Oldsmobile used
custom, people would do that.
my
They would
F85.
They would wire the
Yeah, there's an
switch
electric
pitch,
connection.
and they'd be flipping on and off the
Yeah, you
vanes.
can wire it manually, but
This
normally,
is
yeah.
mechanical.
Yeah.
Mine on my F85, the F85 is used it instead of the Buick.
Oh,
So the
that's,
Turbine
yes,
300.
yeah, but he's talking about the front wheel drive. That was
And they
like
used
a,
it in the bigger cars too. They did in the Buick and the
At
olds.
the very least, in the '67 Eldorado with 429.
It went away in
they had a switch
'68.
pitch.
okay,
used to
that's
cross-
news to me.
It was used
I
in the
didn't
big
know.
I
cars.
assume that the Tornado would have
The
it.
Tornado
In fact,
would
I know
have
it
it.
had it because there were
88s,
modifications to
98s, the
it.
Electras, and the big Buicks, and Riviera all had it if they had this turbo hydromatic 400, and the Jetaway, and the Buick, but not the Francis.
Are we having a Buick Olds discussion?
You're in my wheelhouse, girl.
Ooh.
Who hasn't been in your
So is that just
That's
pressurized?
Tom.
That's a long list.
It controls the rate at which the band contracts.
Wait a minute.
I guess I've never seen the inside of a transmission, so I don't know what that means. But
Oh yeah, we've done that,
Yeah.
so we'll do it again.
All right, great.
There you go.
I was in the late class.
That's right.
I'm on the B team.
Maybe.
I don't know. We're all
They're stuffed.
I'll go around.
We're all cool here, right?
But I want to see how this works because I actually don't have a clue about that.
Okay.
Other than put
Other than we
it
break
in
'em?
gear and go.
Take it apart.
I haven't broken one.
I break plenty.
3/4-inch socket.
So how do we
and
stop
go
the
back in
transmission
there.
from turning when is that are we just
We're going to try to use Mr. Deseroff's impact
Okay.
driver
Ugga Dugga.
and pop it.
I will go get the Ugga Dugga.
Do you have your special tool?